I've been pretty busy lately, putting in FOIA requests at different police stations for body camera footage. And I've noticed a couple different police stations that because of circumstances right now beyond their control, that they're able to bend or even break the law. So I found a little story here that's a really good example of that. Here in the United States of America, we have something called due process, right? Unless there's a pandemic. This is like a little weird situation, but you know what? For some people, it's really going to get under your skin. Because you're going to see how easily government can just take anything away from you. How you really don't have what you think you have, because at any moment, things can change. Down in Florida, we had a 23-year-old suspect arrested by the Titusville police on March 26th. When it came time to go to court, deputies would not allow him to go to his own court proceedings for fear of the virus. His girlfriend had let deputies aware of the fact that he may be sick. He wasn't allowed to post bail. He wasn't allowed to talk to his lawyer or anything like that. Now see, here's the thing. On March 19th, the 18th Circuit top judge, Lisa Davidson, had signed an administrative order which basically was allowing police to issue RORs in situations where RORs may not be given out on the street. So someone like this guy had a $1,500 bail. Instead of going through the process, the police would be allowed to just give him a release on his own recognizance and then give him a notice to appear for his court date. This order was done to eliminate the possibility of bringing the virus into jail over nonviolent crimes. Neighboring to Brevard County is Seminole County. They had already started enacting this program when they would arrest somebody, that they would have an option where they could ROR them instead of bringing them into court and before having a court proceeding. Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey says in a press conference on March 23rd, roll the tape.
That is not Brevard County. That is not going to happen here. My first responsibility is to the citizens of this community and to the victims of their crimes. So we're not going to be working to let people out of jail. They are in good hands in our capacity.
So the sheriff in town's not worried about getting anybody out of jail or releasing anybody. It's business as usual for him. Back to the suspect we're talking about. He had petty theft, resisting the recovery of goods to a merchant, and driving while suspended. So like I said, he was brought to the jail. His girlfriend had let the jailers know that he possibly could be sick. They brought him to a local hospital. They ran a bunch of tests on him. All the tests came back negative. He was then brought back to the jail. He was not tested for COVID-19. He then spent the next few days isolated in a room that was lit 24 hours a day with no access to the phone. He couldn't talk to his lawyer, couldn't talk to his grandmother, couldn't talk to his mother, couldn't talk to anybody. His initial bail was set at $1,500. He just couldn't post it because when you can't talk to anybody and you're stuck in isolation and you're there alone, there's nothing that you can do. So they left him in there helpless. For anybody who just doesn't understand, the worst case scenario was somebody pays $150 and he's out of jail. But that's not what happened. They did have his court proceeding. He was not allowed to be there. And well, you know what? I'm going to let you guys watch it for yourself. The judge raised his bail from $1,500 to $15,000. Was this judge keeping this guy locked up because he had the virus? Was that the situation here? You be the judge of the judge. Roll the tape.
That's the next one, and we're not bringing him in, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Okay, for medical reasons, he may be contagious,
yes,
possibly.
Your Honor.
Because of that, I'm going to find probable cause for his arrest. And based upon the circumstances, where he allegedly went in public to a public store, allegedly stole items, resisted recovery, drove on a suspended license, and because of that, he put himself in contact with numerous members of the public when he may be contagious with possibly the COVID-19 virus. I think under the circumstances that he's a potential danger to the community. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him because he's not going to be brought in. I'm going to increase his bond to $5,000 on each count. However, I'm going to specifically authorize the sheriff to release him on his own recognizance if he needs to be transported for medical care to a medical facility, and on the condition that he's also to remain confined and away from the public until medically cleared. So 5,000 on each count with the condition of to be released ROR if the sheriff needs to transport him for medical treatment outside of the jail, and with the condition of remaining confined away from the public until medically cleared. So hopefully that's clear enough that I'm basically giving the sheriff authority to, if they need to take him somewhere for medical treatment and get him out of the jail, they can do that. I'm authorizing an ROR at that time. So do the clerks understand that? And is that going to...
Judge, what I have is BCSO to ROR defendant if he is to be released for medical treatment only, and defendant is to remain confined for said treatment.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, sir.
And no return to Walmart.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. So other than that, his next court date then is going to be April 30th. Front of me, Judge Friedland and Titus.
Apparently the story gained traction pretty quick. Somehow the state's attorney got involved. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but make a long story short, they went and got this guy from his cell and released him from jail. The guy sent himself, as they were bringing him from the cell, out the back door of the jail so they wouldn't create commotion and panic or anything like that. They were spraying behind him, treating him subhuman. All right, and that's all I have for today, guys. Please leave below your guys' comments, what you think about this. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good whatever it is, wherever you're at. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.